how are you? And welcome to your beginner crystal starter pack video. I know when I was first starting out in buying crystals about, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, I didn't know exactly where I wanted to start, so I just started buying them. And that's fine, you can always do that. But if you want to save time and money and you don't plan on diving like super deep into the world of crystals, or you're sort of just new to spirituality, this is the perfect video for you. I'm going to run through the top crystals that I think you should start out with when you're kind of beginning this journey, what helped me, and what I think are the most beginner friendly and useful stones. So we're going to run through about 8 different ones in this video, and I will leave the timestamps for each one in the comments below so you can reference them at any time. The first stone I think is an absolute necessity to have for beginners is a piece of amethyst. You can either get a piece of raw amethyst like this, or you can get a piece of tumbled amethyst like this. It doesn't matter, whichever one. More likely you'll probably get a piece of tumbled amethyst here, because these are what are sold online and at most metaphysical shops in store as well. Amethyst is really good for strengthening your psychic abilities and kind of connecting you more with your crown chakra and your third eye chakra. It's really good to be used during meditation, and that's why it's a very beginner friendly stone, because it's kind of like dipping your toe into the water of enhancing your psychic abilities and allowing you to become more aware of the unseen and the unknown to you before this point. So amethyst is a great stone to do it like that. It's also just a good stone like throughout your journey that you'll use. So it's not just something that you'll only need like at the beginning when you first start. You'll start to use it in combinations with different crystals as you get more farther along in your journey to bring out the psychic properties more in those crystals as well. So amethyst is the perfect first stone in your starter. Next stone that I would recommend to beginners is a piece of rose quartz. Again, I have this piece of raw rose quartz as an example, or this tiny tumbled piece of rose quartz here. Rose quartz is a really great stone. It's also a stone that can be used in combinations with other stones, like when you get further along in your journey, but it doesn't need to be by any means. It promotes self-love and compassion, and just overall releases the energy of healing heart love. It's good for meditation. You can place it on your heart chakra here while you're meditating and connect more with that heart space energy. And it just promotes a break from insecurities and more of a call towards self-love and self-healing and self-acceptance. It's a really beautiful stone, and I would highly recommend it to anybody who's starting this journey. You can keep a piece of it in your pocket. I also think that rose quartz is a really good stone to wear as a bracelet. Amethyst, it's a little bit more challenging because maybe you don't always want to be tapped into that psychic energy because it can be a little bit too much for you. But with rose quartz, getting a crystal bracelet would be absolutely perfect to use rose quartz with, especially if you're struggling with issues of insecurity, or you're having just a lot of things coming up with self-compassion and you're more focused on healing your self-image. Rose quartz is a beautiful stone to heal those kinds of things with. Next recommendation I have is selenite. I cannot stress this enough. Selenite is amazing. I think it's slept on far too often, just because I think people find it like a little bit boring when we dive in more into the world of crystals and seeing like all the fun different colors. But selenite is amazing. It's a cleansing stone. So by nature, you can put your other crystals, so say you have your amethyst and your rose quartz, you can charge your other crystals in this bowl, and all you have to do with the selenite to cleanse it, you're either going to want to do a like sound cleansing, which is just with meditation music, or like the sound healing bowls, or you can cleanse it with smoke, some incense, or you can put it in front of the moonlight, either inside your house or outside, just where it can bathe in the moonlight. So all you have to do is charge this bowl and then place your crystals inside of it, and it will charge them for you. So it's a really beautiful cleansing and clearing stone. Just make sure you don't get it wet. It cannot get wet. It will literally dissolve and disintegrate. So you can't cleanse it with water, but other than that, there's really no stipulations with selenite. It's one of my favorite for sure. I have a ton of pieces of it. This is more of a small piece. It's also good to carry with you, again, as kind of like an aura cleansing energy. Like if you feel like you're harboring a lot of negative energy like inside of you, this will kind of clear you out. Having this on whatever chakra you think is blocked during your meditation is also a beautiful way to clear those blockages. What I like to do with this selenite wand here too, which is something I recommend, is when I'm reading tarot or somebody's oracle cards, or just like energy reading in general, I'll kind of cleanse my hands like this while I say like a prayer, and that allows my energy to be cleared and the energy of that person or that space to be called in instead of just picking up on my own energy. So selenite is an absolutely wonderful stone. Again, it's one that you will use pretty much, I think, every day in your journey because it just has so much purposes, and it can be used in combination with every crystal just to kind of clear it out. And I think it's just so useful, and it's not very expensive either. The selenite bowl I think was like $15 or something like that, which is crazy because it's like really good quality too. And it also makes really good decor for your desk or your altar, anything like that. So I highly recommend getting a piece of selenite. The next crystal that I would recommend getting is a piece of clear quartz. Clear quartz is amazing and versatile as well. Here's a tumbled piece as an example. It's really nice because in the same way where if you know this, that white candles can take on the property and intentions of any other color because it's the absence of color. So in the same way of clear quartz, it can kind of take on any intention set by the user. So when you get the clear quartz, say you want it to deflect negative energy, you can set those intentions into it, or whatever else you want to set into it. Say that you want to study really hard when you have your crystal quartz with you, that it'll make you more motivated and more productive. Your crystal quartz will do that for you. And it's just amazing. You can set whatever intentions you want with it. It's very versatile. This is the #1 stone that I would recommend starting with for beginners, just because it is so versatile and you can set whatever intentions you want within it. Just make sure that you cleanse it each time you're setting new intentions onto it. But it's amazing. This is definitely, if you had to pick just one crystal, this is gonna be the one that you wanna go with, and just set your intentions into it. So we have this carnelian here. This is a tiny piece I have. I also wear a carnelian bracelet, and carnelian's all about like sensuality and calling in feminine energy in that way. It's also associated with, only when it's intended, and with other stones, with fertility and sexual relations between two people, and just kind of enhancing sex life. But when it's worn by a user with the intention to just kind of send an alluring energy out, it's really great as like an attraction stone of bringing people and things towards you, and also for you just kind of feeling like more sensual and more sexual in general. Sensuality is a really beautiful energy to be in because it's super feminine and super free-flowing, and allows you to be more creative, to feel more like yourself, and just kind of like inhabit that divine feminine energy. So carnelian's a really beautiful stone. It's really good when used in combination with rose quartz. The next stone I would recommend is some sort of grounding stone. There's not one in particular that I would suggest. I mean, out of these three that I'm going to show you, there is one that I prefer, but any sort of grounding stone like these examples is going to be really great. I think that's something that people tend to overlook early in their spiritual journey, is the healing of the root chakra. That is the most important thing, period. Because you find out about all of these metaphysical ideas and your crown chakra and your third eye chakra, that I think people have a tendency, myself included, to neglect their lower chakras. And I've found like a lot of information online about how you can't have like a strong sense of like psychic abilities without like a strong foundation to build upon. So I need you to think of your lower chakras, like your root chakra, your sacral chakra, and your solar plexus chakra, as the foundation to your psychic abilities and your connection to the divine. You can't really feel confident in that, in moving forward with intuition and things like that, if you don't have a grounded root chakra. So these are 3 stones that I think are the best for that, and there's tons of others online. You can definitely look around, but just in general, getting a root chakra stone. We have this peacock jasper here. It's a really good grounding stone. I use it as a palm stone. I brought this on a flight with me, and I'm really scared of flying, and it helped me ease a lot of anxiety. And I was also flying to another country by myself, so it actually helped mitigate a lot of that and allow me to feel more present and grounded in my own body, and not so susceptible to like anxious thoughts or the people's energies around me. This is my favorite of the grounding stones, and I highly recommend this one. If you're gonna get one grounding stone, I would say get this one instead of the others I'm going to show you, but of course it's up to you. Just make sure that you get a root chakra cleansing stone. This is a piece of petrified wood. You can find it online. It is not very expensive. I love this. I love this so much. I literally cannot express how much I love this. It's my favorite root chakra stone. It's my favorite grounding stone. meditating with this. I take it out with me when I'm in anxious social situations, and it literally just grounds you back to earth. It makes sense that the wood is the best grounding stone that I've had because it is from the earth, it is from the ground and being grounded, and we're working with those kind of energies. So getting a stone like petrified wood is absolutely amazing. And also if you're having like a lot of anxious thoughts, just sitting there and meditating with it will absolutely help you. This is the third grounding stone I'm going to show you. This is a piece of black obsidian, I believe. It's also used to deflect negativity, which is really good. So it's dual purpose. It deflects negativity like back onto the energy that it's coming from instead of giving it to you. And it also allows you to deflect your own negativity away from yourself. So black obsidian is a really good stone for that. I don't know if this is my favorite stone for grounding, but it is definitely useful in the realm of deflecting negative energy. So out of all of them, I would say the best one for grounding is petrified wood, but feel free to do your own research there or take my word for it, because I promise you the petrified wood is amazing. I don't have very much earth in my chart, so I have a hard time struggling to be grounded. And the thing that helps me the most is definitely the petrified. The next stone I would recommend is fluorides. This is a big piece of it, but you obviously can get smaller ones. I love this so much. I keep it on my desk, and reading it directly from the crystal book I have, it supports and encourages new beginnings. It reopens the heart chakra, especially if there has been any stress or emotional trauma. It clears the mind and encourages creative thinking in line with your heart's deepest wishes. Its balanced structure helps decision making where feelings need to be balanced with practical demands. So it's a really good stone for focus, for meditative focus, really, for aligning yourself with your heart's desires and what your soul really wants, and allowing you to heal from any like emotional traumas or stressors that have been plaguing your mind and your heart space. Because when we go through traumatic things or stressful things, it sort of like blocks up a lot of our chakra energy because of just the stress of the situation, right? It's natural. That's what happens. And that's why we tend to feel kind of miserable and like shit after things like that happen. So stones like this can really help bring you back to the present moment and move past that and allow yourself to be open and receptive to the loving energy around you, both from the divine and from yourself and other people around you. So fluoride's a really great stone for that, as well as focus. That's why I keep it on my desk. It just keeps me in a loving energy and it allows me to get more creative with my work. Finally, my last crystal recommendation today is going to be citrine. Citrine looks like this. This is a piece of raw citrine, and here's a piece of tumbled citrine. Citrine stimulates creative thinking and inspiration. It helps turn your ideas into reality. It supports hormone balance in the body and helps to enhance physical vitality. And it also is really helpful in lifting depression and anxiety. So obviously a really useful stone to have, especially in combination with the fluoride if you've gone through something traumatic recently. I'm definitely not suggesting, by the way, that crystals are the only thing that will help you get through that, because that's not true. You should definitely seek help from other people, like a friend, a therapist, or just a trusted family member in your life. But crystals definitely also help you get through those things more grounded and more in a way of like more clarifying energy than it would be without them. So definitely still seek out those resources, but these can also be a helpful tool in healing some mental health issues and kind of getting you through the storm until there's brighter days ahead of you. So I hope you enjoyed these recommendations and you found them helpful. If you did, definitely leave this video a like and subscribe to my channel. I would love to know that I helped you out, and I would love to have you here. I have a lot of new content planned that's coming out, some more metaphysical stuff, some tarot stuff, as well as like branching into a couple other different things. So if you have any video suggestions you'd like to see me do, definitely leave them in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed week.